On behalf of everyone at WNET, congratulations to Steve Adubato and the Caucus Educational Corporation on 25 great years of broadcasting.
Hi, I'm Larry Nespoli with the New Jersey Council of County Colleges. At New Jersey's community colleges, we believe that our students, as well as all citizens, need to be informed about the important issues facing higher education. That's why we're proud to support programming produced by the Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan, turn a dream into a degree, TD Bank, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. Cohn Resnick, providing accounting, tax, and advisory services for more than 90 years. And by PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. Promotional support provided by the Star Ledger, powering NJ.com.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Welcome to the Tisch WNET studio. I'm Steve Adubato. Tell you, we've had a lot of people in the studio, but this guest you're about to meet is one of the most creative and interesting we've ever had. He is Nathan Sawaya.
Right.
He is a brick artist. By the way, that title itself is fascinating.
You like that?
Yeah,
Thanks.
you used to be a lawyer.
I was a corporate attorney practicing in New York City.
Didn't love it.
Not my passion. Needed to find something else to do. So found something else to do.
And so later in the evening, when you were not practicing law,
Right.
you got into what our 9-year-old son, as we do this program, Chris, is into every night, Legos.
Right. Well,
Except you took it to a different level.
yeah, that was the idea. I would come home from the law firm after a long day. I would need some sort of outlet. Some people go to the gym. For me, I would create things. And I was sculpting out of more traditional media.
Right.
And then one day I was like, what about this toy from my childhood? Could I create large-scale sculptures using just Lego bricks? So I did a few pieces, people liked them, kept doing more. Eventually got to the point where it was time to quit the law firm and make a full-time choice to be a lawyer, or to be an artist.
Hold on. When you're growing up in Oregon,
Right.
are Legos your thing?
I had Lego bricks growing up. I had parents who really encouraged creativity. There was always tools around for, drawing or painting or sculpting. And I had Lego. I had actually a 36-square-foot Lego city. So you could say my
whole
parents
city?
were pretty accommodating.
Right, so you spread out. You did your thing.
Yeah.
You knew you had something, but a lot of kids are doing Legos.
Right, exactly. It was when I was 9, I wanted to get a dog. And I asked my parents, can I get a dog? And they said, you're not getting a dog. So when I was like 9, 10 years old, I tore down part of my Lego city and built myself a life-size Lego dog. And that was that aha moment. It doesn't have to be what's on the front of the box. This toy could be whatever I could imagine, right? And so years later, I would come back to it as an art medium and make a career out of it.
And as we do this program, you have an exhibit going on right here in New York City. Talk about it.
The Art of the Brick is right here at Discovery Times Square. We have over 100 different sculptures. So it's the largest solo Lego art exhibition ever. So one of the sculptures is it's kind of something I wanted to do for the city. We're in New York, so I took this Statue of Liberty and put a little something behind it. Have her opening up her chest. And again, all out of Lego bricks. So,
How long would something like that take, by the way, before we look at the next one?
a life-size human form out of Lego takes me about 2 to 3 weeks and uses about 20,000 bricks.
What do we got here?
This is a piece called Swimmer. It's just another experiment with Lego where I've taken the human form but built it out of these tiny little rectangular pieces. Thousands and thousands of bricks.
Alone, no one else helping you.
I'm the only artist in my shop. I got a great support team for logistics, but when it comes to the art, these hands do all the work.
So you do it alone?
I do.
It's sort of the same way with this show.
Right.
I'm joking.
I can see that.
Guys, I'm joking. I'm joking. Trust me, I'm joking. Go ahead.
No,
Okay, let's put up, trust me,
Sure,
we're
sure.
about to quit in about 2 seconds. Put something else up right away.
All right, so this is...
What is that?
So that's Van Gogh's Starry Night, but my rendition of it. What I've done is taken some of the most famous works of art history and replicated them out of Lego bricks. So part of the exhibition is seeing these very famous artworks that we all know,
Right.
but seeing them in a different light, seeing them out of Lego. And maybe that's a way to teach kids a little bit about art history, but through a medium they're familiar with.
But it's interesting, it isn't just this particular exhibit which is happening in New York, but you have other exhibits, including one in Belgium?
Yeah, I have multiple exhibitions around the world. I mean, in the past year, we've had some fun. We were in Australia, we were in Asia, we're in Belgium, and it's really fun because I get to travel the globe and meet folks and talk about art, but it's all through this universal medium, the Lego brick. Everyone's played with it, so they can relate to the art on a whole new level.
And you know what's so interesting is when I told you about the fact that our son plays with Legos, you said, here's this, my business card. Guys,
Right.
I know we got this in Still Store earlier on, and by the way, I want to formally and officially apologize to the team. I would be nothing without them, which will just prove right now, because we took this shot earlier of Nathan's
Right.
card. Look at that.
Yep, there's
They
my
took it.
business card.
That's your business card. You walk around with them in your pocket.
You have to.
That's the coolest.
Thanks. Well, I think people expect my business card to be made out of Lego brick at this point, right?
And the law thing.
The law thing,
You
yeah.
just left it behind.
You know,
Did anyone say you're nuts?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. In fact, there's a sculpture in the exhibition that's all about it. It's this figure, and there's all these arms pulling at him, and he's trying to pull away. And that was me trying to make a change in my life, follow my dream. And I had people saying, "You're going to leave a very secure job, a six-figure salary to go play with toys?" But I made that transition. I followed my dream.
And your passion.
Yeah.
And there was no guarantee. There was no
Never is.
money coming in right away.
No.
You are not just the artist. It's so interesting. You're not just the artist. You are the business person. You're the entrepreneur.
Right.
You're doing a lot of the deals.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, having a legal background helps a little bit in doing the deals, but for me, I wanted to do something that I hadn't seen before, and that's take Lego into the contemporary art world and hopefully inspire others to explore art on their own, especially kids. A lot of families coming through the exhibition.
And I said to you that our research says that you have 2.5 million bricks in
Right.
your two studios in New York and Los Angeles. You said no, and I thought, okay, maybe he doesn't have that many, and you
Right.
said
No, it's actually 4 million bricks. You never know what might come up.
4 million.
Right. It's a lot of bricks. They're all organized by size, shape, color. So there's always, whatever I need, I can just pull from the shelves and start creating.
What are we looking at right now?
So these are some more examples of the art history pieces that are in the Art of the Brick. Half of the exhibition is art history and half of it's original work. As you can see, some very familiar sculptures there. The Venus de Milo,
Right.
David. So really trying to just, again, interest kids in art history through a medium they're familiar with, as well as adults.
One more, couple other quickies, guys, if we could. Do we have any more? Have any more? How about this one?
So this is more of my original work. You see this figure in the forefront. I call him Hands, and you see his hands are still just loose Lego bricks. It's really my nightmare. My hands are my tool, and so this piece is kind of just a little bit of, it's kind of me in a certain way.
And it's you
A little bit. It's my fear.
that,
These hands are what make all the art, and so for
are they
me,
insured?
They may be.
Look at you, not being forthcoming, but okay.
well,
I
you know.
understand. You love this, don't you?
It is my passion, but I really have a mission to inspire others, and that's what we're doing with this exhibition, is hopefully inspiring folks. They can go home, maybe create a little art on themselves. I mean, folks have Lego at home, right? So hopefully they see the exhibition, they go home, maybe snap a few bricks together themselves.
Finally, before I get out of here, people ask for you to make certain things.
Sure, commissions. It's random.
Most interesting commission in the last year.
I was asked to build a urn for someone's dead chihuahua, but I passed on that project.
What?
Yeah,
That is weird.
I get some weird ones. It's part of the fun of the job, though. You get all these random things.
And it pays?
I do. You know what? I always say the worst day as an artist is still better than the best day as a lawyer.
Man, you got the right attitude. I said that about the golf course, but I don't get paid to do it. You get paid to do this.
It works out.
And it's terrific. Nathan Sawaya is a brick artist, and he is the first artist ever to take Lego into the art world. And your exhibit is being run over here. Tell everyone where again?
The Art of the Brick is at Discovery Times Square. It'll be there through January 5th.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much. We wish you nothing but the best.
Thanks for having me.
Breaking new ground.
We try.
There are enough lawyers anyway. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
If you would like more information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Visit us online at oneonone.org, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD.
For the first time here at the Tisch WNET studios, we have Jamie Ritchie, President and Chief Executive Officer, Americas and Asia, Sotheby's Wine. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Now, who knew that Sotheby's was into wine? It's big.
We've been into wine for a while. With 1970, we started in London, 1994 here, and 2009 in Hong Kong.
Explain to us the whole wine thing. First of all, why is Sotheby's into wine? Like, what, do people come in and auction off wine?
So yes, exactly. So people collect wine. They generally, we have 4 reasons why they would sell it: death, debt, divorce, and the 4th one would be doctor's orders for wine. And people build collections of wine, and they generally, they buy more than they need to drink. It's readily available every day. It's fun. There's a new vintage. There's a new producer, and then people realize that they can't possibly consume as much as they've collected. So
who collects?
It's a wide range of people. There are the aficionados, connoisseurs who love it. There are people who invest in it. There are people, like me, I just drink it. And so it's a wide range of people. In terms of where the market's gone, it was really originally just European buyers. And then North America, from 1994, when the laws changed here, allowing wine auctions to take place, the North American buyer became the least price sensitive. And that really ran through mid-2008. And then when Lehman Brothers collapsed, the market went down significantly, probably by about 40%.
Direct correlation between the Lehman situation and the prices of wine dropping dramatically?
Yes, well, it was a build-up. So we started seeing the market fading in North America from mid-2008, and then Lehman Brothers was the catalyst. So prices went down about 40% post that. But what happened at the same time was we saw in January 2009 the Asian buyers becoming very aggressive and mostly driven by mainland Chinese buying for the first time. And really, so since that point in time, the least price-sensitive buyer has been the Asian buyer.
Set this up for us. For those of us who see wine mostly as something that, we use to go out to dinner, and those of us who have very limited palates, right?
Everyone's got their taste, what they like.
Okay, so you were told that I'm a big Pinot Grigio drinker, and so you were nice enough to bring this in for me, right?
Yep.
We'll share with our team a little bit later on. And by the way, what is this?
It's a Poggio Allegazzi, so it's mostly Sauvignon Blanc, but it's quite full and rich, but with a good acidity.
Now, a wine like this would go for?
$50.
$50. Now, here's the thing. What is so hard for some of us to understand is that at Sotheby's, your place, some of these wine auctions, you're talking about wines that go from what to what? Because when I saw the numbers on the high end, it just was mind-boggling. Put it in perspective.
Sure. I mean, everyone likes to report, including us, or what gets reported in the press is always the highest prices.
Yeah.
And so we would sell bottles of wine at auction from $25 to through all the way up until...
What are we looking at right now there?
We're looking at a bottle of 1869 Lafite.
1869?
1869 Lafite.
Now, is that supposed to mean something to... It means something to you, obviously.
Sure. It was a great year.
It was a great year,
okay. A great year. And so we actually sold 3 bottles of 1869 Lafite, which came directly from the cellars of Lafite in Bordeaux. And we sold them in Hong Kong in 2010. And they sold for $233,000 each to the same buyer. So
No. Back up. $233,000 each to the same buyer.
Yes, so $700,000. So that's what gets reported, and so that's why our reputation is always for selling wines at that price. But yeah, we go down to $25. We have a retail store, which is new for us here in the city, and that starts at $13.95.
Okay, let's show the shot of the store itself. We can do that. You got a heck of a place there.
That's our headquarters. That's not all a retail store. We'd love it to be. That's our store.
How'd you get into this?
You know what?
What is your story?
I grew up in England. And I remember my father serving me glass.
That's not a Brooklyn accent?
I'm working on it. I started drinking wine, my parents started serving me wine when I was 13, 14. And I remember bottles of wine that my father served me then. So when I was working, I was studying law, like your previous guest.
What's up with the law thing?
And I realized I wasn't really interested in law. And so in England, I wanted to be an actor too. So a failed actor becomes a barrister. And then my view is like a failed barrister becomes an auctioneer. So the acting role is just reduced a little bit each time. But yeah, I liked the wine. I was interested in it. I went to work in bars and restaurants, and people saw that I was interested in wine. They encouraged me. I went on some wine courses.
The art of being an auctioneer. Some of us who do charity work, who have been pulled into doing live auctions, are just panicked because we think we know what to do on a microphone because we do this, and you realize it is not the same thing. We are out of our element and we stink at it. And I look at people like you and I go, how do they do it? How do you do it?
It's, actually the benefit auctions are much tougher. I did one last night, and it went well because, with a commercial auction that we run, we're in control of it. We source the property. That is me. We source the property, and we sell it. With a benefit auction, and they're very tough because we don't source it, you just stand up there and you do it. But the most important thing with an auction is to know who's bid and then to go back to them. Most people, most not professional auctioneers will just look around the room, but you've got to go back to your previous bars and get them to bid again. So that's all.
You have to know your audience.
You got to know your audience, but you also got to remember who bid, and because the person most likely to bid next is that same person who just bid.
Really? And do you feel the pressure to have to get that number up to a certain number because you know what the perceived or expected value is of a certain wine?
Sure. I mean, it certainly helps to know the market, to know your clients, to know the value of the wines, and to know what the expectations are.
Man, you love this. You were born to do this, right?
I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
I had the last guest who's born to do his thing, right? With the Legos. You're born to do this.
Yeah. It's, I love tasting wine. I love talking about it. I love selling it.
Okay, so here's the last thing before I let you out of here. I often tell people that the wine I like is a certain kind of, let's just say, Santa Margherita, which is the kind that is overrated in a lot of people's mind. You know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I know what it is. I'm not even going to say the brand. And it's like $20, $25 a bottle.
Yep.
Do you think that most people can tell the difference between that bottle of wine, a $15 bottle of wine, or 10 or 12, and a really expensive bottle of wine? Most of us who do not have a trained palate. Loaded question, I know.
Yeah, I think generally speaking, if you serve someone a really good wine, everyone goes like, wow, that's really good. And you say...
They do.
Yeah, they do.
Even when we don't know?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it what, smoother? What is it?
Yeah, it's a combination of smoother, concentrated, it has great length. It's sort of
length? What is that?
Length. So the taste doesn't disappear immediately. It stays with you. You can taste it after, a minute after you've stopped drinking it.
And the fact that I drink white wine and I have not tried red makes me what?
Enjoying white wines.
But I need to expand it. We need to expand ourselves, don't we?
But that's the great thing with wine. And there's never been a better time to enjoy wine because how they produce wine nowadays and what they know about it means that at $20, you get great wine.
Jamie Ritchie, you've taught us a lot and wish you nothing but the best. But the best. President and Chief Executive Officer over at Sotheby's Wine for the Americas and Asia. Doing great stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This is, see you at Lincoln Center here at Tisch WNT Studio. Fascinating people, good stuff. We'll be right back right after this.
If you would like more information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Visit us online at oneonone.org, or find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato, PhD.
Hunger is not always easy to see. Look closer. It's here. One of these children will eat tonight at a soup kitchen. 2 of these commuters are struggling to afford food. Hunger is here. Thankfully, so are you.
It's a great PSA. It's a great organization. Here's the leader, Margaret Purvis, who is the president and CEO, the Food Bank for New York City. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm here with you.
Well, let me tell you something. We're better because you're here and doing important work.
Thank you very much.
Set the food bank in context. How many people do you serve, and why is the need so great?
Food Bank for New York City serves 1.5 million New Yorkers. We do that through partnerships with soup kitchens, food pantries, shelters, every kind of charity that's in the business of feeding hungry people. We get them the food from our 90,000 square foot food distribution center in Hunts Point. We deliver it all to them, have about up to 20 tractor trailers on the road every single day. But more than that, we're also inside of 200 schools providing nutrition education to about 45,000 children.
What does nutrition education mean?
Well, you know what? One thing people don't often think about is the fact that poverty robs the diet. and it robs a diet of a lot of things that, nutritionally powerful for children to grow. So you'll have people that grow up saying, I don't like this and I don't like that, but primarily it's because they never had it.
That's right.
So we make sure that we go into the schools, and not just any schools, we go into schools in some of the poorest communities in our city. And we work with teachers. We have more than 1,000 teachers and a couple thousand classrooms. And we are teaching them how to put nutrition into regular curriculum. And we expose the kids to different foods, vegetables. But when you get a kid involved in preparing things, they're much more likely to actually eat it. And then we also work with the schools to work with the parents. And we teach them.
How'd they get you?
How do they get?
How'd they find you?
Me? Food Bank? I worked at Food
Everybody's
Bank.
got a story. How'd they find you?
Well, you know what? This is actually my second go-around at Food Bank.
Is that right?
Yeah. I had the great privilege of working with Lucy Cabrera, Dr. Cabrera, who was the president for 23 years. She hired me as a 28-year-old. She taught me food banking. She was tough, but I loved every second of it, because let me tell you something, that woman knew this business through and through.
Is it a business? You call it food banking. What is the business of food banking?
Well, we work on behalf of government, companies, individuals, all for families. We are the largest food bank in the country, sitting right here in New York City. We are distributing 72 million meals every single year. We are doing this with some of the best technology in order to make that warehouse run. 400,000 meals come out of our warehouse every day.
400,000?
Every day. Every single day.
How many people on your team, paid in volunteers?
Oh boy. Our staff, between our 3 locations, Harlem, we have a soup kitchen and pantry. We have an administrative office in the financial district, and of course the warehouse. We have over 150 people that work at the food bank.
You are
and thousands of volunteers.
So it's interesting, being a CEO, you have to be involved not just in the day-to-day management, but you're also a fundraiser.
Oh yeah.
You are the person who is the brand. You are out there, you're doing marketing, the whole bit, right?
Yes, all the time. But I love it.
What do you love about this? I mean, it's such a challenging job. As
Yes.
hard as you work, as effective as you are, you know there are people, particularly kids, you're not getting to, right?
Yeah.
A lot of frustration. What do you love about
It's a lot of frustration, but you know what? At the end of the day, getting to do something that you absolutely believe in and that you get to see every day that it is so needed. It's easy to do. Well, not easy, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, from my perspective, I get to see people at their best. There is no other issue where, regardless of your faith, your background, we all agree. People should not go hungry. My members are synagogues. My members are Church of God in Christ. My members are Muslim. It's everyone. And I get to meet all of them. They all just know me as Margaret. And it's really awesome.
You know, it's so fascinating. We're connected because our production operation is based in New Jersey, and we're partners with WNET here in New York. So we know the Community Food Bank of New Jersey.
Yeah.
And Kathleen DeChara, who you may know, Kathleen started the food bank in 1975 out of her shop, out of her station wagon.
Yeah.
And she tells that story, and my point is, everyone has a story, and her personal passion came from her experience taking food around that station wagon. You have your own personal story. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Mississippi.
What'd you see there connected to food?
Well, I primarily saw a grandmother who was, missionary Baptist, and she took that word seriously. She believed that faith is not something that you just say because you go to church. She would always say you are as likely to be a Christian because you stand in church as you are to be a Cadillac because you stand in a garage. It's not the same. You actually have to do things to be considered a good person. And I would watch her pretty much give it all away.
Give it away.
Yeah, because she knew hunger, and she said she made a pact with God that if he just got her and her family out of a really tough time, that she would dedicate her life to helping others. I also watched my grandfather on the other side saying, "Lady, we barely got out of the poorhouse. You're sending us right back." So, and this was before a food bank. So the ladies and men who I get to work with and help every single day, it's very much what I grew up seeing. I mean, I worked in our own little soup kitchen. We dyed 3,000 eggs every Easter. I thought everybody did that.
You're talking about Mississippi?
Yes. Yes. She had an army of one, Then my mom is like you. She is a news anchor. She's an Emmy Award-winning anchor. I'm very proud of her.
That is great.
But she
they
taught
must be
me
proud
telling
of you.
the story.
She taught you about telling a story.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, my granny was all about work, 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 and don't even look up work. My mom is all about know the story, what's behind it. And that really is the combination of what I get to do today.
Wow.
And you learn that kind of early when you hear it all the time.
Speaking of stories, Mario Batali, what's the connection?
We love Mario Batali. He's our board member, and he's not a board member whose just name is on something.
What does he do?
He's really involved. I mean, the cook shop program I was telling you about, he wanted to help us take it out of just the school, but to go to soup kitchens and pantries and go to the poorest families to allow them to cook with their kids too. He wrote every single one of those recipes himself.
He did?
He did. He was the first person to do our food stamp challenge for us to get more people to understand what it means to live on a limited budget. He speaks about this issue and works as passionately as I do. He has attracted so many celebrities and high net worth individuals who never would have thought about a food bank as being sexy. He made it sexy. He really did.
It's interesting how you have to create those relationships with people like that and also deal with folks whose names no one knows and everyone in between.
That is the job. I mean, I was talking to my staff the other day. I said, we navigate relationships that, you know, people just they never happen. I mean, the relationship and line between the mom at a soup kitchen, the mom at a pantry, and the mom who writes the check. I mean, part of my job is to really help them see their sameness. You know, for the donor to understand at the end of the day, this woman loves her children as much as you love yours. She just can't express it in things that require cash, but it's the same love. So imagine if you love your kids the way you do and you can't show it by feeding them the things you want them to eat. That really is our challenge, and that's what the job is to make sure that through all the myths, and myths happen for good reasons, because if you don't know people, you don't know them intimately, and life takes you farther and farther away, guess what? You can believe lots of things about people because you don't know them.
We're glad we know you, Margaret Purvis.
Oh,
keep up the good work.
Thank you
so
very much for
much.
that.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, NJ Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan, TD Bank, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, Cone Resnick, and by PSE&G. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been made possible in part by Celgene.
We can see it. This day has never been closer. Today, thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, hundreds of thousands with blood cancer are living a normal life. We're almost there. We're making cures happen. Join us.